What if one of the best beginner film cameras ever made came from the exact same DNA as one of the most respected professional systems of the 1970s? Today, we're taking a look at the Olympus OM-10. Released in 1979, the Olympus OM-10 was built to bring the legendary OM system to the masses. While cameras like the OM-1 were aimed squarely at professionals, the OM-10 was created for everyday photographers who wanted a simpler way to shoot without sacrificing interchangeable lenses. It went on to introduce countless of people to the world of film, and it remains one of the most popular entry-level SLRs on the market today. See, the entire OM system was the vision of legendary camera designer Yoshihisa Maitani. His goal was radical for the time: create professional quality SLR cameras that were significantly smaller and lighter than the bulky competition, and the OM-10 carries that exact same philosophy. The first thing you'll notice when you pick it up is just how incredibly compact it feels. Like its bigger brothers, the OM-10 is noticeably smaller and lighter than almost anything else from its era. The controls are simple, uncluttered, and designed not to intimidate you if you're just starting out. On the top left, you'll find your film rewind knob, which doubles as the camera back release, along with the rewind crank. Right below that is your main selector switch, which handles your power, the self-timer, and a battery check. You also get a fixed hot shoe right above the prism. Moving over to the right, we have the exposure compensation dial, which shares a footprint with the ISO selector, running from 25 up to 1000. You'll also find the shutter release button, the exposure counter, your film advance lever, and the mode selector switch featuring bulb, auto, and manual adapter settings. On the front, things stay pretty clean. There's a rewind release lever, the self-timer indicator light, which doubles as an audible battery check beeper, and right here in the corner is the jack for the optional manual adapter. The back is totally minimalist, just the viewfinder. Flip it over to the bottom and you'll find the battery compartment, a standard tripod socket, and the contacts for a motor drive. But the real magic happens when you look through it. The viewfinder is massive, incredibly bright, and clear. On the left wall, you'll see a vertical stack of LEDs showing your shutter speeds from 1 full second up to 1/1000th of a second, along with the flash sync indicator at 1/60th of a second. To help you nail focus, the center features a classic split image prism surrounded by a micro prism ring. Just keep in mind, there's no aperture readout in here, so you'll have to glance down at your lens ring to see what f-stop you're shooting at. Focusing is entirely manual, but because the viewfinder's so bright, getting tack-sharp images is surprisingly straightforward. Even for beginners, it naturally encourages you to slow down and really think about your composition. Now, out of the box, the OM-10 is built around aperture-priority automation. You choose the aperture on the lens, and the camera's computer brain selects the shutter speed for you automatically. This makes shooting incredibly fluid and intuitive. However, if you do want full manual control, Olympus made an optional plug-in manual adapter that dials in your shutter speeds. Without that accessory, this camera is strictly an aperture-priority shooter, but having the option to adapt it makes it a fantastic camera to grow into. Ultimately, your image quality comes down to your film stock and your glass. And Olympus Zuiko lenses are legendary for a reason. They offer incredible sharpness and beautiful contrast. For this video, I shot everything on Kodak Gold 200, and that Zuiko glass brought out those classic warm gold tones and rich saturation perfectly. Here are a few frames that I've captured with this setup. Unlike the fully mechanical OM-1, the OM-10 is an electronic camera that relies entirely on battery power. If your batteries die, the camera goes dead. Fortunately, battery life is excellent, and it runs on standard modern LR44 or SR44 batteries, which you can find just about anywhere. So let's weigh the pros and cons. On the plus side, you get an incredibly compact, lightweight design, excellent aperture priority automation, a massive, bright viewfinder, and access to that stellar Zuiko lens lineup. On the downside, it's completely dependent on batteries. You need a separate accessory if you want a true manual mode, and it lacks some of the rugged flexibility of higher-end OM bodies. So who is the Olympus OM-10 actually for? It's perfect for beginners looking for a gentle entry into film, street and travel photographers who value a lightweight setup, or anyone wanting elite vintage lenses on a budget. It's probably not for you if you insist on shooting full manual right out of the box without buying accessories, if you prefer the heavy mechanical feel of an all-metal tank, or if you're looking for modern features like autofocus. Here are a few more picture samples showcasing that pairing of the Olympus OM-10 and the warm vintage look of Kodak film. At the end of the day, the Olympus OM-10 is all about accessibility. It takes the brilliant compact design and world-class optics of the OM system and packages them into a camera that is genuinely fun and easy to use. It might not have the pro-grade bragging rights of the OM-1, but for a lot of photographers, that simplicity is exactly what makes it a classic. If you enjoyed this review, hit the like button, subscribe for more analog content, and drop a comment below. Would you choose the beginner-friendly OM-10 or jump straight to the fully manual OM-1? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.